Hey everybody, welcome back to my modern homestead. My name is Janet, and today, y'all, it is peach day. If you saw my last video, you'll know that we went and picked up, well, it's probably 2 videos ago. You will see that we picked up our peaches. We got 2 boxes. I really need 3, but I'll have to go back and get another one later. I can only do 2 at a time because I've got a trip to make. But anyway, I will give you a quick overview of how we do the peaches, but if you would like more details about how we do peaches, you can look up here in the left-hand corner because, you guys, I've done peaches on here the last 2 years. That is one of my most favorite videos on my channel. Not one of my favorites, but viewer favorites. It gets a lot of views. So the first thing we need to do is wash the peaches. Now I've already washed them in my vegetable and fruit wash. Actually, it's just my basic H, but that's not an approved method, so shh, don't tell anybody. And then this is just a sink full of plain water, so they are ready to be peeled. And that's what we're going to do next. Alyssa's actually going to help me with this part, so let's get these peaches going. Okay, now to do the peaches, very simply, just peel your peaches, and I showed you how to do this on the hot sauce video, but just in case you didn't see it and you are brand spanking new to doing peaches, a good ripe peach will peel very easily. I don't like going through all the trouble of dropping them down into boiling water and then cold water and then trying to peel them. My goodness, by the time you get your water heated up, you could just about have all your peaches peeled. And you don't have near the mess to clean up, and you don't take up room on your stove, because back on my stove while I'm doing this, I have got my syrup already going. It's a medium syrup. I'll put down in the description box. I think it's 10 cups of water, and do you remember how many cups of sugar, Alyssa? 6.5 cups of sugar. I'll put that down in the description for you. But I quarter my peaches. Ooh. And these are freestone. If you get the later peaches, they are freestone. And that means the pit will just let go of the slices. You can see it already coming off. Let me raise y'all up just a little bit. See, just like that, the peach slices come off. And I can go back and take some of this middle out. As you can see, they just come right away from the pit. And it is best to wait till your peaches are a little bit soft. They are easier and tastier. Now, you don't want them mushy, but let them just start getting to where they give when you kind of squeeze them a little bit. And that's all there is to it. So we're going to peel all of these peaches. Now see, this peach has got a lot of bruises on it. That's all right. Just cut those places out. You can still eat them if you want to, but they're not good for canning. Only do the parts that are good. Let's see. I like to use a paring knife to do this. Yeah, I think we're just going to eat most of this peach. Let's take a look at what we've done. All right, so Alyssa's working on the last few peaches, and I'm going to pack the jars. Now, let's fill our jars with the peach slices. I just use my hands, drain them a little bit, drop them in. Now if I'm taking them to the fair, I will really make sure they're good and packed in there. And even still, I'll shake them around a little bit to settle them down, because peaches, if you don't hot pack them, love to float. So you want to get them in there good, but I'm beyond being worried about them floating in the jar. So as long as that doesn't bother you, then you don't have a thing to worry about. But if it does bother you, just stick them down in there really tight. Now don't smash them, but just get them down in there really well. And the book says to do slices to about a 1/2 inch. It's hard to gauge with peach slices. Just do the best you can. So we'll fill up the rest of our jars. Okay, the peaches are all packed. Now I just turn them up and drain any liquid out of them, because when I slice them, I put them down in this bucket of water and I have citric acid added to it to keep them from the slices from turning brown. And a lot of times when your peaches sit, that water they've been sitting in gathers at the bottom of the jar, and I just like to get it out. So now it's time to fill these with the syrup. And the syrup, you can do a light syrup, a medium syrup, a heavy syrup. You can use unsweetened apple juice. You can use water if you wish. But I prefer for my peaches to have at least a light syrup in them. All right. Now we're going to fill the jar slowly up to a 1/2 inch headspace, and that's what the book says is a 1/2 inch headspace. I at least like to make sure most of my peach is covered. Okay, we'll just keep going until they're all done. With a lot of things, I'm not super careful about debubbling, but when I am raw packing peaches, I am careful about debubbling, because there are so many little pockets and holes for the syrup to get caught in. If you don't debubble the headspace, it's all off with the peaches, so you want to make sure you do that. And if your headspace goes down below where you need it to be, just add a little bit more syrup. Okay, on some of my jars I do need to adjust the headspace, so that's what we're going to do now. And then we'll wipe the rims clean and get them sealed up. Okay, now with these peaches, I made a mess putting them in here. I always do. It's just the way peaches are. So you want to make sure to wipe this rim really, really well for peaches. All right, let's get a lid on them. And I'm using the time for the book, the time for peaches that the book recommends, the Ball canning book. And it says 25 minutes for peaches and syrup. I can never remember from year to year if that's what I use or not, but that's what we're going with today because I'm in a hurry. I have so much to do today, but these peaches have got to be done. They won't last until I can get to them again. So if my other video says another time, go with my other time. I know that time does really well. But I think that's right. And when you put the peaches in the water, you don't start timing until the water comes up to a rolling boil. All the lids are on, so I'm going to sit them in the basket in the canner. Alright, last jar in. And we're going to lower the basket and put the lid on. Make sure they're covered with water with at least 1 inch. 1 to 2, there's plenty of room above mine. So I'm going to put the lid on, let it come up to a boil, and set the timer for 25 minutes. Okay, let's set the timer for 25 minutes. Okay, the timer's going off, so let's open up the canner. Remember to open away from you. Turn off the eye. Now we're going to leave this for probably about 10 minutes to let it all settle and stop boiling, because if you don't, you will have a lot of siphoning of that syrup. And that's something you don't want. I'm sorry y'all are all crooked. Right, let's get them out.
There we have it, my friends. We did 27 pints of peach slices, and we also put a lot in the freezer. Thank you all so much for joining me. You know I love it when you come and spend a few minutes with me. So until we meet again, may you be blessed. Love you guys.